Hey everyone! If you're currently gearing up for the AB-730 AI Business Professional exam, you already know that mastering Microsoft 365 Copilot is absolutely essential. Today, we're diving into one of the most dynamic and honestly heavily tested objectives in the entire study guide. We're talking about creating and managing Microsoft 365 Copilot agents. You see, this isn't just about using AI, it's about actually shaping it to do exactly what your team needs. We're going to break down the full life cycle of a Copilot agent straight from the official exam skills measured, so you can walk into that test with total confidence.
Now, before we get too deep into the weeds, I want to draw your attention to this exact quote, straight out of the AB-730 audience profile. It says, "You take advantage of AI without building AI apps or writing code." I absolutely love this because it perfectly sets the stage, right? If you hear creating agents and immediately picture yourself writing lines of Python or managing some complex cloud infrastructure, well, take a deep breath. The exam is testing your ability to leverage these tools as a business professional. This explainer and the exam itself is specifically designed for non-coding folks who want to drive business outcomes efficiently. You're configuring, you're not coding.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the agent store versus building a new agent. Second, the build workflow. Third, detailed configuration. And finally, sharing your Copilot agent.
Section 1. Agent Store versus New Agent. When to actually build custom.
Before you even click a single button to build something, the AB-730 exam wants to know if you understand when it's actually necessary to build an agent in the first place. It's really a choice between immediate availability and deep customization. On one hand, we have the Agent Store. Microsoft gives you pre-built agents right out of the box. The study guide specifically calls out agents like researcher and analyst, so if your task perfectly fits what those do, just use them. It's super fast. But on the other hand, we have the new agent path. You're going to choose this when you have a highly specific business use case. For example, maybe you need an agent specifically trained to cross-reference your company's proprietary Q3 inventory logs, something the pre-built options literally have no idea about. The exam is absolutely going to test your judgment here. You need to identify the scenario and correctly choose whether to grab a tool from the store or build a brand new one from scratch.
Section 2. The build workflow. The exact steps to create.
So once you've made the strategic call that a custom agent is a must-have, you jump right into the build phase. According to the exam skills measured, this workflow boils down to two foundational steps. Step 1, create an agent by using a template. So you don't start with a blank screen, you start with a structured foundation. Step 2, configure an agent that has knowledge. And honestly, this second step is where the magic really happens. It is heavily emphasized in the study materials. Think of it like this. A template gives the agent its shape, but the knowledge gives it its brain.
Well, what does knowledge actually mean in the Microsoft 365 Copilot ecosystem? Simply put, knowledge is context. It's your work files, web data, or specific apps you're using every day. By linking this specific data, you ground the agent. This totally affects its responses, ensuring it generates highly relevant content based on your actual real-world business data. Oh, and remember this, because the study guide is super clear on it, you absolutely need to understand how Copilot keeps your organization's information private and secure while doing this. The agent only knows what you explicitly give it access to within your secure environment. Zero data leakage.
Section 3. Detailed configuration. Fine-tuning the agent.
Okay, so you've got your template, you've added your secure knowledge, but now we need to fine-tune this thing so it actually performs its specific job well. I want you to just think about this question for a second. How does an agent actually know what its job is? Like if it has access to 500 different documents, how does it know whether it's supposed to write a super casual summary for the marketing team or a strict by-the-book compliance report for legal? Well, that is the exact problem that configuration solves.
To answer that, the exam explicitly lists 3 configuration settings you absolutely must know how to manage. Think of these as the 3 pillars of your agent's identity. First, you have instructions. That's the agent's job description. Second, you have capabilities. That serves as the agent's tool belt. And third, you have suggested prompts, which essentially act as icebreakers for your team. Let's break each of those down real quick. First up, instructions. This is where you literally tell the Copilot how to operate. This study guide makes a big point about understanding how Copilot uses memory and instructions. Right here, you're setting the guidelines to drive specific business outcomes. You tell it what tone to use, like always be formal and concise, what formats to output, and how exactly it should remember and reference that knowledge you provided earlier. It's the core set of rules the agent has to follow.
Next, we have capabilities. Now, while instructions tell the agent how to act,
Capabilities dictate what it's actually allowed to do. Can it search the web? Can it interact with a specific Microsoft 365 app? You are defining the exact features and actions the agent is permitted to utilize within your environment. Managing this properly is crucial because it ensures your agent is super helpful without ever overstepping its bounds.
And finally, suggested prompts. A massive chunk of the AB-730 exam, we're talking up to 40%, is dedicated to managing prompts and conversations. Think about it. When you build an agent, you really shouldn't just hand it over to a colleague and expect them to magically know what to ask it. Suggested prompts are pre-written questions or commands that guide users on exactly how to start effective conversations. It completely lowers the barrier to entry so your team members can instantly start getting value from the AI.
Section 4. Sharing your agent, deploying it to your team.
Look, building a fantastic agent is really only half the battle. The exam also wants to know that you can deploy it to actually drive team efficiency. The final skills measured under the agent lifecycle are sharing that completed agent with your team members and integrating it seamlessly right into their daily workflows. Because at the end of the day, the whole point of being an AI business professional is to improve daily work, right? It's about better meetings, better collaboration. By sharing the agent you've carefully configured with those instructions, capabilities, and suggested prompts, you're scaling that efficiency across your entire department, right inside the M365 apps they're already using every single day, like Teams or Word.
And that brings us to the end of the agent lifecycle. I want to leave you with a question to chew on as you continue studying. Think about the specific workflows you manage every single day. Based on everything we've just covered, from recognizing when you need a custom agent to grounding it in secure data and configuring its exact instructions, how will creating custom agents transform your specific daily business processes? Keep that context in your head as you prep, because understanding the why, right alongside the how, is exactly what's going to help you absolutely crush the AB-730 exam. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep up the great studying, and I will catch you in the next one.